Today we're going to talk about finding the x and y intercept. So the first thing I want you to do is to look at the three graphs that you see in front of you. We are going to identify the x and y intercepts by looking at the graphs. Remember that this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. Your x and y intercept are the places where the line is going to cross the x-axis and the y-axis. So in this particular case, notice that this orange line crosses the x-axis at the point 2, 0. So the x-intercept for the first graph is the point 2, 0. Then take a look at the y-axis. Where does the line cross the y-axis? Right here, that is the point 0, 1. So the y-intercept is the point 0, 1. So that's for my first graph. Take a look at the second graph. This is a horizontal line. Again, here's the x-axis, here's the y-axis. This horizontal line does not cross the x-axis at all. It's actually parallel to the x-axis. That means that it does not have an x-intercept. So the x-intercept, there is none. This horizontal line will continue forever. It is never going to cross the x-axis. Therefore, there is no x-intercept. Let's talk about the y-intercept. Where does the line cross the y-axis? At the point 0, 4. So the y-intercept is the point 0, 4, but that horizontal line does not have an x-intercept at all. The third graph that you see in front of you is of a vertical line. Now this vertical line is going to cross the x-axis at the point -3, 0. So this vertical line has an x-intercept of -3, 0. However, the y-axis is never going to get crossed by this vertical line because the line is going to continue going up and down, but it's never going to cross the y-axis. So that means that there is no y-intercept at all. The y-intercept is none. There's no y-intercept. So visually, this is how you can determine the x and y-intercept. Where does the line cross the x or y axis? Sometimes you're going to see a graph and the line that you're going to see is going to be drawn a little short. All you have to do is extend that line and then you can determine where it's going to cross the axis. So let's say this is your line. Obviously that line has to continue. So maybe take your ruler or a straight edge and then keep drawing that line until you see exactly where it is going to cross the axis, and then you can determine the x and y intercepts. Another thing that I want to draw your attention to is the fact that your x and y intercept are basically your zeros. If you look at the first answer that we got, the x-intercept is 2, 0. Look at the third graph, the x-intercept is -3, 0. So the x-intercept, when you want to find it algebraically, the way you do that is that you're going to make the y equal to 0. Same thing for the y-intercept. If you notice, the y-intercept for the first graph is 0, 1. The y-intercept for the second graph is 0, 4. So the way you're going to find the y-intercept is going to be to set x equal to 0. We're going to write that down as we look at some problems. So for question number 1, directions for each linear equation, find the x and y intercepts. So to find the x-intercepts, we're going to set y equal to 0 and solve. To find the y-intercept, we're going to set x equal to 0 and solve. So question number 1, 5x minus 4y equals 20. Let's first start by finding the x-intercept. And to find the x-intercept, we're going to set y equal to 0. So I'm going to have 5x minus 4 times 0 is equal to 20. So that means 5x minus 0 equals 20. So 5x is equal to 20. And if I divide both sides by 5, I get x is equal to 4. that means that the x-intercept is going to be the point 4, 0. Just like I found the x-intercept by setting y equal to 0, I can find the y-intercept. To find the y-intercept, we are going to set x equal to 0. So in this problem, 5 times x, remember we're going to set x equal to 0, so 5 times 0 minus 4y is equal to 20. So 5 times 0 is just 0, minus 4y is equal to 20, which means negative 4y equals 20. If you divide by negative 4 to both sides, then y is equal to negative 5. So that means that the y-intercept is the point 0, negative 5. Question number 2, we're going to do exactly the same thing. To find the x-intercept, we're going to set y equal to 0. So negative 4x minus 6 times 0 equals 12. This part of 6 times 0 is just 0, so I'm just going to get rid of it. So that means negative 4x equals 12. If I divide by negative 4, that means x is equal to negative 3. So the x-intercept is the point negative 3, 0. To find the y-intercept, we're going to set x equal to 0. So I have negative 4 times 0 minus 6y equals 12. This part right here is just going to be 0 anyway. So negative 6y equals 12. Divide by negative 6. That means y is equal to negative 2. So the y-intercept is the point 0, negative 2. Question number 3, same exact thing. Go ahead and do it by yourself. Pause the video and then check to see if you did it correctly. To find the x-intercept, you're going to set y equal to 0. So that means 6x minus 3 times 0 equals negative 18, which means 6x is equal to negative 18 because 3 times 0 is just 0. Divide by 6, that means x is equal to negative 3. So the x-intercept is the point negative 3, 0. To find the y-intercept, we're going to set x equal to 0. So 6 times 0 minus 3y is equal to negative 18. This stuff just becomes 0. So negative 3y equals negative 18. Divide both sides by negative 3. Y is equal to positive 6. So the y-intercept is the point 0, 6. Pretty easy. Question number 4. It's okay. We have a fraction. No big deal. We do exactly the same thing. To find the x-intercept, we're going to set the y equal to 0. That means 1/2 x plus 5 times 0 is equal to 10. 5 times 0, of course, is 0. So 1/2 x is equal to 10. Divide by a half. Divide by a half. 10 divided by a half is the same as 10 times 2 over 1. So x is equal to 20. So that means the x-intercept is the point 20, 0. To find the y-intercept, then you're going to set x equal to 0. So 1/2 times 0 plus 5y is equal to 10. Of course, 1/2 times 0 is just 0. So 5y equals 10, which means y is equal to 2. So this means the y-intercept is going to be the point 0, 2. Question number 5. Question number 5 is actually really interesting because there's no y at all in this problem. There's just an x. This tells me that this is the equation of a vertical line. Because a vertical line has an equation x equals some number, there is no y at all in the equation. So if I go ahead and divide by 6, I'm going to get that x is equal to negative 4. That means the x-intercept is negative 4, 0. Because this is a vertical line passing through negative 4, 0, then I know that the y-intercept, there is going to be none. There's no y-intercept. In question number 6, I notice there's only a y Because there's only a y, I know that this is going to be a horizontal line. The equation of a horizontal line is y equals some number. There is no x at all in the equation. So if I go ahead and divide by -3, I get y is equal to +7. This is the y-intercept. So 0, 7 is the y-intercept. And this would be a line at y is equal to 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this would be a horizontal line at 7. Notice here's the x-axis, here's the y-axis. The x-intercept, there actually is none because it does not cross the x-axis at all. In number 7, y equals 5x minus 2, we are going to proceed the same way as before. To find the x-intercept, you're going to set y equal to 0. So this means 0 equals 5x minus 2. If we add 2 to both sides, then I get 2 equals 5x. You always divide by the number that's next to the variable. So x is equal to 2/5. That means that my x-intercept is 2/5, 0. To find the y-intercept, we have to set the x equal to 0. So that means y equals 5 times 0 minus 2. 5 times 0, of course, is 0. And 0 minus 2 is -2. So then the point 0, -2 is going to be my y-intercept. In question number 8, last but not least, to find the x-intercept, once again, set the y equal to 0. So 4x equals -2 times 0 plus 8. So that means 4x is equal to 8 because -2 times 0 is just 0. If I divide both sides by 4, I get x is equal to 2. That means the x-intercept is the point 2, 0. To find the y-intercept, I'm going to set x equal to 0. So 4 times 0 equals -2y plus 8. 4 times 0 is just 0. Go ahead and solve for y. Take away 8 from both sides. -8 is equal to -2y. Divide both sides by -2. So y is equal to +4. That means the y-intercept is the point 0, 4. Hope you found this video helpful. Remember to subscribe to my channel for more help with math so that you can say, yes, I can do math with confidence. Until next time, thanks for watching.